to Tech Talk!
If you are first-time home buyers and undecided between BTO, EC or even private condo for your first home, this episode is for you.
Yes, today we will analyze and compare the 3 different options to provide you with greater clarity on what your next move should be.
First of all, let's look at the differences in terms of affordability and cash outlay. For a couple with 14,000 combined income, you can purchase a 4-room BTO at 500,000 at a mature estate. The initial down payment plus stamp duty is about $134,600. If you want to go for an EC, you can take a loan of around 880k to buy a 1.17 million EC. But current 3-bedder ECs cost about 1.3 mil, and this means you will need an initial outlay of the 25% down payment plus the extra amount of 130k which the loan cannot cover. In other words, you will need to have about $456,600. And if you wish to go for a private condo, you can take a loan of 1.6 mil to purchase a 3-bedder condo worth up to 2.15 million. The initial down payment plus stamp duty will be around $614,600.
How come the loan for EC and private condo is different?
For EC, we are subjected to mortgage servicing ratio of 30%, whereas private condo will be affected by our total debt servicing ratio of 55%. For example, if you earn 10k a month, your monthly mortgage for EC will be capped at $3,000, while your total debt, including the monthly mortgage, can be up to $5,500 if you buy a private condo. So that will affect your total loan amount.
Oh, I see. I think for most of us, our options are limited by the amount of cash and CPF upfront. But what if I do have enough cash and CPF on hand for all 3 options? Which type of housing will give me the most returns?
Good question. Since we cannot predict the future, let us look at past data for reference. If you had bought a 4-room BTO at Tampines Greenleaf in 2015 at $300,000 and sold it for $750k in 2024 upon MOP, you would have gained $450k with an initial outlay of about $79,000. So your annualized returns of investment is approximately 21.29%, which is very good. If you had bought a 3-bedder EC 1,098 square feet at City Life at Tampines at $823,000 in 2013 and also sold it after 9 years, you would have gained about $556,000 with the initial $225,000, and your annualized ROI is 10.57%. This is lower as compared to BTO due to the higher initial outlay amount. But a word of caution for current 2024 EC buyers. Due to the extra amount that you have to top up, which the bank loan is unable to cover the full 75% due to your income ceiling, your eventual ROI is probably lower in future. Similarly, if you have bought a small 3-bedder condo, 904 square feet at Cocoa Palms at $960,000 in 2014 and sold it in 2024, you would have gained an average of $523,000, but your annualized returns would be the lowest at 7.92% because of the higher outlay of $263,000.
Gosh, then of course I should buy BTO because they give me the highest ROI. All those who bought a condo for their first property, that is so silly.
Well, if you just look at ROI, it really seems so. But if you look at the annualized gains, BTO could give you a gain of $50,000 per year, EC will give you a gain of $62,000 per year, whereas for private condo, you gain $58,000 per year.
Given the figures, then I think EC is better?
Yes, you're right. But let's not forget the opportunity cost involved. For BTOs and EC, you have to wait for 3 to 4 years for it to be built and then fulfill your 5 years of MOP. However, if you have bought a private condo, you could have sold it in the next 3 to 5 years and use it to buy the next property. Let's use James, the Cocoa Palms owner, as an example. When he bought the unit at $960,000 in 2014, he made a down payment of $240,000. If he had sold it by 2019, he would have gained $280,000. After that, he proceeds to buy a 4-bedder new condo at Treasure at Tampines. With his original $240,000 plus $280,000 gain, in 2024, he would have gained another $470,000 on average after selling it. Total profit of $750,000 in 9 years. In fact, with $520k of down payment, he could also have bought a 5-bedder in the same development and gained an average of $700,000 or even potentially get a whopping 981,000 profit. And that means he could potentially have gained more than $1 million in 9 years because he was able to swap his property after 3 years.
Wow, $1 million in 9 years! I see what you mean. The opportunity cost for those buying BTO and EC will be the time lost when they are fulfilling their MOP period.
Yes, not only that, we need to bear in mind that after the lock-in period, the couple would have aged by 8 to 9 years as well. And that would also affect their affordability and monthly mortgage will be higher. That's another opportunity cost as well.
I see. And yes, at the end of 9 years, the BTO owner is sitting on a 750k property. The EC owner is sitting on 1.38 mil property. And the private condo owner is either sitting on a 1.5 mil private property or potentially a 2.9 mil asset if he had swapped the property after 3 to 4 years.
Now you see what I mean. Whether you choose to go for BTO or EC or condo, it is a good start to having an asset under your name. But if you're able to afford at the start, should you then go for BTO, EC or private condo? I hope the illustration has given you some clarity. Ultimately, the choice is yours. It's important to grow your assets while you are young and gainfully employed. And the sad truth is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Indeed, 年轻就是本钱. The earlier you start, the longer the runway you have to build your wealth. In fact, having a private property also grants you more flexibility in retirement planning, as you can take out your money from your property when there is a need to.
Yes, 今天的贵就是明天的便宜. Who would have thought that the property would have risen so much over the years?
So the question is, do you want to have the freedom to choose your retirement lifestyle? Is BTO the only way for first-timer?
If you need help to understand more about your options, feel free to consult any of us and we will be glad to share with you more.
I'm Teresa.
I'm Gracia.
See you in our next Tech Talk. Bye!